The Queen, I think, is the most loved of the royals, and I think it's because of her devotion to duty and her service to her country and to the Commonwealth at large.
And the Queen very pro-Gibraltar?
Very much so. At the time that Prince Charles was going to get married, and it was announced that the honeymoon would start here in Gibraltar, the Spanish king let it be known that he would not attend the wedding, and it was reported to the Queen, and she was not amused. And apparently she said, it's my son, it's my yacht, the Royal Yacht Britannia, on which he was going to start the honeymoon, and it's my rock.
Well, Richard, as we know, she hasn't visited that rock of hers in a while, but I believe that when she did come, it was the start of hostilities with Spain.
The Queen did come in 1954 as part of a very wide tour, taking in many countries in the Commonwealth, and Gibraltar was amongst the last of those territories to be visited. And the whole of Gibraltar turned out on the occasion, and it was a tremendous event and was indelibly recorded in people's memories. And at the time, there was a Spanish consulate general in Gibraltar, and that Spanish consulate general was closed down, apparently because the Spanish consul general reported to Franco saying, I am the doyen of the consular corps, and therefore I would need to meet the Queen, and I am not prepared as a Spaniard to meet the Queen in Gibraltar.
And very different from when her grandfather visited the rock.
Her grandfather, when he visited Gibraltar, was a very, very different occasion. He came in 1912. He was on his way to India for the India Durbar, the coronation Durbar. And on that occasion, the King of Spain sent his son, who was later to become king himself, to Gibraltar to greet the King of England, the King Emperor, on behalf of the King of Spain. And there was a big parade at Alameda Grand Parade, and the Staffordshire Regiment were presented with new colours by the King, and standing next to the King was the Crown Prince of Spain.
And before her, the longest-serving British monarch, Queen Victoria, 63 years, I believe.
Queen Victoria was the longest reigning monarch in the UK before the present Queen, that's right, and 63 years. But a very, very different time. I think that the Queen has presided over the death of empire. Queen Victoria was the zenith of empire. We, of course, have been rather sidelined in that respect because of the hostility of the Spanish government, which came to a fore during the Queen's reign. So prior to the Queen, we did not have a hostile Spanish state. Franco used Gibraltar when it was convenient for him. So prior to Malaga Airport being developed as a commercial airport, when it was simply a military airport, a very small military airport, Gibraltar Airport was the entry point for visitors to the newly developing Costa del Sol, at a time when Spain was in the doghouse and where Spain had been sidelined by all the major powers in Europe. So Gibraltar was important to Franco. And when he had Malaga Airport at his disposal that could take over the role of Gibraltar Airport, that's when hostilities against Gibraltar began. And over all this time, it's been the Queen, very serene, looking after our interests through the government of the United Kingdom.